You're out here waiting, still waiting, waiting on your mama to believe in your vision, waiting on your friends to clap for your progress, waiting on somebody to tell you it's okay to go after it, to tell you it's the right time, to tell you that you're enough. But let me help you right now, that moment, that approval you think you need, it's not coming. It was never meant to come. And I ain't saying that to discourage you. I'm saying that to set you free. You keep treating your life like it's a job interview, like you're sitting in the waiting room of your own purpose, just hoping someone calls your name and says, "Okay, we looked over everything. You're qualified now. You're good enough now. You can't start." Nah, that's not how greatness works. That's not how purpose works. Your gift don't need validation. Your assignment don't need applause. You've been approved the moment you took your first breath. You just forgot. You out here begging for permission to be who you already are, and I get it. I know what it's like. When you come from nothing, when nobody ever spoke life into you, it's easy to think you need somebody else's voice to confirm what you already feel in your spirit. It's easy to feel like their belief is the fuel you need to start the engine, but I'm telling you, the fuel's already in the tank. You already got everything you need. You just been sitting in park waiting for somebody else to get in the passenger seat and tell you it's time to drive. But here's the truth, some of the people you waiting on, they can't give you the green light cause they never had the courage to chase their own dream. You waiting on people to give you permission when they never even gave themselves permission. You gotta stop expecting people to clap for a stage they were too afraid to step on. You were made for more, but you out here acting like you need a stamp on your soul. You don't. You don't need a blue check mark next to your name before you start walking in what you were called to do. You don't need a title to make an impact. You just need to make a decision. See, when I was at my lowest, when I was homeless, when I was eating out of trash cans, when I had no degree, no platform, no followers, no fancy anything, I didn't wait for somebody to tell me I was ready. I didn't wait for someone to crown me a speaker. I didn't wait for a moment where everything was perfectly lined up. I got up, and I started doing what I knew I was built to do, even if nobody believed in me yet. I started walking in purpose when all I had was pain. I gave myself permission. That's what I'm telling you. You got the power to approve your own greatness, and some of y'all still sitting around day after day waiting on somebody to co-sign. But let me tell you what happens when you wait too long. Dreams die in delay. You hear what I'm saying? Dreams don't just die from doubt or fear. Sometimes they die from waiting too long on somebody else to believe. There are people in the grave right now who never did what they were born to do because they were too busy trying to get everyone else's vote. And you know why that's tragic. Because the world never got to see what they were carrying. Because they never gave themselves permission to release it. You gotta be the one to say, I'm not waiting another year. I'm not waiting another week. I'm not waiting on likes, on followers, on applause, on nods, on claps. I'm moving. You've got to look in the mirror and approve yourself. Approve your own hustle. Approve your own growth. Approve your own healing, because here's the reality. Some people will disapprove of your growth. Some people will walk away when you stop playing small. Some people will question you, mock you, tell you you're being unrealistic, and you gotta be strong enough to say, I'm still doing it, not because they said it was okay, but because I was called. See, I ain't talking about arrogance. I'm talking about awareness. I'm talking about being so clear on who you are that even if nobody shows up, you still show out. I'm talking about being so committed to the work that even when there's no audience, you still perform at championship level. Why? Because your approval already came. It came when you survived what you weren't supposed to survive. It came when you woke up with breath in your lungs one more day. It came when the vision dropped in your spirit and your heart said why yes before your mind ever figured out how. So stop waiting. Stop sitting around like your greatness is on layaway. Stop giving people access to your destiny who haven't earned the right to speak on it. Give yourself permission to rise, to build, to speak, to create, to become. You don't need a round of applause to start. You just need to start. Move now. You keep trying to explain yourself, trying to break it down for people, trying to get them to see it, to understand it, to feel it the way you do. But let me tell you something, they don't see it. And that's not their fault. They weren't supposed to see it. The vision you have, the dream that's been keeping you up at night, the thing that pulls at you every single day, that wasn't given to them. That was given to you. You're the one who wakes up thinking about it. You're the one who hears it in the silence. You're the one who feels that fire deep in your belly. And still you're running around asking people what they think. You're seeking input from people who ain't never built nothing. You're explaining spiritual things to people who only see physical. Let me ask you something. Why do you expect them to understand a mountaintop God gave you when they're still living in the valley? You're trying to share blueprints with folks who don't even believe in building, and then you get discouraged when they don't get it. You start shrinking your vision down to their level. You start watering down your dream cause they looking at you like you crazy. But let me tell you something, crazy is required. Nobody ever built something great by sounding reasonable. Nobody ever changed the world by waiting for everybody to be comfortable. You got people in your life who only support you when you play small. As soon as you start talking different, moving different, thinking different, they say you changed. Nah, you didn't change, you grew, and growth makes people uncomfortable. You're not arrogant, you're awake. You're not better than them, you're just done settling. But here's what happens. You let their confusion become your hesitation. You let their silence become your fear. You let their opinion become your ceiling. You keep giving them seats in your life that they didn't earn. They didn't cry with you when you were alone. They didn't stay up with you when you were building. They didn't sacrifice for your dream. You did. So why you letting them vote on your purpose? You think they gotta be on board before you take the next step. But purpose don't need passengers. Vision don't need validation. Sometimes the very people you want support from, they can't support you cause your dream reminds them of what they gave up on. You didn't mean to offend them, but your courage highlights their comfort. Your discipline exposes their excuses. Your hunger stirs up their fear, and now you're questioning yourself. You're doubting the very thing that once lit your soul on fire, all because a few people didn't understand it. But hear me, they don't have to understand it. They don't have to approve it. They don't even have to see it. You know who has to see it. You gotta wake up every day and look in the mirror and say, even if nobody gets it, I still believe, even if they laugh. Even if they leave, even if they talk, I still move. See, faith isn't just about believing in what you can't see, it's about continuing when they can't see it. And you know what's wild? The moment you finally stop explaining yourself, the moment you finally move with clarity, with conviction, with no apology, that's when they'll come back around. Yo, I always believed in you. Now you believed in the version of me that made you feel safe. You loved the old me, the tame me, the watered down me. But the new me, the focused me, the locked in me, that's who I was always meant to be. And I'm not gonna apologize for that anymore. You gotta get to the point where you say, I'm not explaining my vision no more. I'm not asking you to clap. I'm not waiting for a round of applause to move. I'm building. I'm becoming. I'm walking. I'm speaking. I'm living this thing out loud, whether you understand it or not. Because the calling was never up for debate. And listen to me, once you accept that not everybody's meant to come with you, that's when you get free. That's when you stop dragging dead weight into a destiny that was never built for them. That's when your pace picks up. That's when clarity comes. You've been running in circles trying to carry everybody. But purpose doesn't allow for overcrowding. This is your time, this is your life, this is your dream, and whether they see it or not, whether they like it or not, you still go. Go now, as requested, no titles, no breaks, no unnecessary wrapping. Just the realest message delivered like it's coming from the stage, with every word hitting the heart. Let me say this plain, some of y'all are stuck right now because you're chasing the wrong thing. You're chasing approval when you were called to chase alignment. You're out here addicted to applause. You're moving based on who's watching. You only post when it looks good. You only grind when people are clapping. You only show up when somebody's cheering. That ain't purpose. That's performance, and purpose don't perform, purpose produces. See, you're asking, why hasn't it happened yet? Why don't I feel fulfilled? Why am I still empty even when people are saying I'm doing great? Because you're out of alignment. You've got eyes on you, but you don't got your soul in it. You've got likes, but you lost your why. Let me ask you this. Would you still do it if nobody said a word? Would you still show up if there was no stage? Would you still build if there was no praise, no followers, no spotlight? See, that's how you know it's real. That's how you know it's purpose, when you don't need claps to continue, when you don't need trophies to train, when you don't need a platform to pour. But some of y'all, you've traded your purpose for popularity. You've let your calling be compromised by comparison. And every time somebody doesn't support you, you shrink. Every time somebody criticizes you, you retreat. But hear me, approval is a trap. It'll have you running in circles, chasing yesies from people who don't even know their own name. It'll have you changing who you are just to be accepted. It'll have you stuck in the same place, asking yourself, what do they think of me? Instead of, what did I come here to do? You weren't born to blend in. You were born to break ground. You weren't created to be liked. You were created to be light. And the truth is, real purpose will cost you approval. Real obedience will cost you popularity. When you start walking in who you really are, people will walk away. When you stop entertaining every voice, some voices will go silent. But listen to me, that's silence. That rejection, that discomfort, that's not punishment, that's proof. Proof that you're stepping out of the box they tried to keep you in. Proof that you're no longer defined by their expectations. Proof that you've stopped performing and started becoming. Some of you right now, you're miserable, and it ain't because you're not talented. It's not because you're not capable. It's not because you're not called. It's because you keep betraying yourself trying to be accepted. You keep wearing masks just so they'll clap. You keep twisting your identity to fit into spaces that were never designed to hold your greatness. And I'm telling you today, let it go. Let go of needing to be liked. Let go of needing to be understood. Let go of needing everybody to say, good job. Because your purpose is not up for a vote. You were not born to win a popularity contest. You were born to change the world. And changing the world, that don't always come with praise. Ask the pioneers, ask the prophets, ask the greats. They were criticized, misunderstood, overlooked, attacked, but they kept going. They weren't moved by the crowd, they were moved by conviction. That's what I need from you. Stop asking for everybody to approve your grind. Stop trying to explain your work ethic to lazy people. Stop trying to make your fire make sense to folks who have been cold their whole life. They don't get it, and they don't need to. You're not doing it for them. You're not doing it for credit. You're not doing it for fame. You're doing it because something in your soul said, this is it. This is what I was born to do. And when you know what you're born to do, you don't let anybody vote you out of your lane. Some of y'all need to choose today. Are you going to keep chasing their applause? Or are you finally gonna walk in alignment? Are you gonna keep dimming your light to make them comfortable? Or are you gonna let your fire burn so bright that it exposes everything around you? You gotta decide, do you want to be liked? Or do you want to be legendary? Because I promise you, legends don't chase approval. Legends don't wait to be crowned. Legends don't wait for the world to clap. They become undeniable. So you can keep waiting, keep holding back. Keep checking in with the crowd, or you can rise, step into your assignment, speak with boldness, move with clarity. They might not approve, they might not understand, they might not support, but purpose don't care, purpose don't ask for permission. And the moment you stop chasing their yes, that's when you finally say yes to yourself. Say yes. Now, you've been downplaying who you are. You've been shrinking, playing small, keeping your voice low. Not because you're weak, but because somewhere along the way, you started believing you were too much for the room. Too loud, too ambitious, too intense, too focused, too different. So you started dialing it back, watering it down, making yourself digestible to people who ain't even got the appetite for greatness. But I need you to hear me. You were built for this. You were built for the weight, built for the stretch, built for the pressure. You don't need to shrink. You need to stand up. You keep asking, why do I feel stuck? You feel stuck cause you keep sitting in a life that's too small for your calling. You keep trying to fit your lion soul in a cage built for kittens. You weren't made to be safe. You were made to shake something, to move mountains, to shift atmospheres, but you out here second, guessing yourself every time someone sigh, dies your greatness. You got all this fire in you, and you've convinced yourself that being humble means staying silent, that being respectful means staying invisible. But listen to me, humility is not hiding. Obedience is not playing small. You can be grounded and still walk tall, and I get it. I know what it feels like to dim your light just to make people comfortable. To laugh less, dream less, ask for less just to keep peace. But peace built on your silence ain't peace, that's just quiet suffocation. Every time you turn yourself down, you're robbing the world of what you carry. Every time you sit on your gift, you're denying somebody else's breakthrough. You think it's just about you? No, your voice, your vision, your presence, that's somebody else's answer. And you hiding it. You keeping it locked up behind fear, behind insecurity, behind the trauma of who didn't see you, who didn't choose you, who didn't clap for you. But hear me, they didn't have to see you because he did, and he already put the oil on your life. He already gave you the capacity. He already equipped you for the rooms, for the weight, for the platform, for the assignment. So why are you playing small? Why are you dumbing down your genius just to be accepted? You think you're being realistic, but you're just being scared. You think you're being wise, but you're just being wounded. You're making agreements with fear. You're negotiating with doubt. And while you're waiting for courage to magically show up, the world is waiting on you. It's time to stop hiding behind perfection. Stop telling yourself you need one more degree, one more plan, one more person to co-sign before you can move. You don't need more prep, you need more belief. You don't need more feedback, you need more faith. You already got the blueprint in your belly. You already got the skills, the voice, the story, the scars, and that's what qualifies you. Not the resume, not the applause, not the stage. What qualifies you is that you survived what should have killed you. You're still here, and not by accident. That strength you've been carrying, that resilience, that fire. You didn't get that from a textbook. You got that from going through hell and coming out swinging. So why are you still acting like you're unqualified? Why are you still letting fear drive the car when it don't even have a license? Some of y'all, you keep asking for new doors to open, but you won't even knock because you're afraid somebody might hear you. You keep praying for elevation, but when the opportunity shows up, you shrink. You smile and say, I'm not ready, when deep down you know you are. You just scared of what comes with being seen, of what comes with taking up space. But I came here to tell you, take it. Take the mic, take the space, take the room, take the table, or build your own. Walk in there like you belong, because you do. And not because they said so, because he already said so. You were born to be bold, born to lead, born to create, born to shift. You don't need permission to be powerful. You just need to stop apologizing for already being powerful. Stop playing small so other people can feel tall. Stop living a reasonable life when you were built for ridiculous favor. Stop being polite with your purpose and start being violent with your vision. The world is not waiting for another nice version of you. It's waiting for the real you, the raw you, the unfiltered, unapologetic, fully alive version of you. The version that doesn't tiptoe. The version that doesn't ask for permission to speak. The version that walks into every room and commands it, not because you're arrogant, but because you finally remembered who you are. That version, unleash it now.